Gamers Assembly 2019, the grand final, ladies and gentlemen, is finally underway. The 4 best players that have competed in Poitiers, France in the entirety of this weekend, starting Saturday morning with the time attack seeding, and now finally taking a seat in the grand final live on stage right now from the Gamers Assembly venue. We have Kappa, the 2018 world champion, Tween, the runner-up 2018, the vice champion from Slovakia, his teammate as well, competing here against OrcsGP Symbiose, maybe the biggest or the underdog out of this grand final here, and of course a Gamers Origin pack from the United Kingdom. All of those 4 fighting for the crown and the victory in this grand final. We are playing it out for a prize pool of 2,200 euro that is going to be distributed among these players, and this is going to be an absolute banger of a match right here. 3 out of the 4 players have been TrackMania World Championship 2018 contestants in the grand final. Only Symbiose is the new kid in class here, basically. So this match is going to be absolutely top quality tech driving right here, and I am absolutely looking forward to bringing this one here to you. The point limit is 120 with finalist mode. We're playing 5 rounds per map, and this is all you need to know at this point. The first map is going to be Invictus, world record 5509 by Kappa, and he is of course going into this one here with 6 bonus points coming from the winner bracket, and Pack gets the 10 points. So they are going to go into this match with a little bit of a head start, and here we go into the first round following Tween from Slovakia. All of them are off to a good start right here. Tween with a little bit of an oversteer right there, going a little too tight into the drift. Already losing a little bit of time right here, so he's going to find himself on position number 4, while the other players are incredibly close to each other right now. Symbiose in the lead, followed by Kappa and Pack. Really similar lines here, dropping down into the left-hander. Pack going for a lot of speed right here. Symbiose with the first wall touch here, with the first mistake of this matchup. Kappa risking it over the Randstein on the right side, trying to maintain as much speed as possible, and it did pay off for him. Kappa now going for the overtake here and passes Pack on this corner. Now the left-hander here, just in front of the ending. The last corner is going to be remaining here. Very important to keep the speed intact here. Kappa with a really risky line here, and he will be able to keep himself in front of Pack by just 23 milliseconds. Tween taking 3rd and Symbiose on 4th. That was a great round to begin the grand final with. That was a really risky landing right there by Kappa, but he was able to maintain himself on the track, and we are going straight into the next round. So we have a double lead right here. We have 16 points for both Pack and Kappa. Tween with 4 and Symbiose with 3. They have come from the consolidation final. They are of course not getting any sort of bonus points, but nothing's lost for them yet. We are going underway right here. Tween actually with a massive speed loss right here. Had to completely adjust his line right there. So Tween right now dead last here in comparison to the other players who are super close to each other right now. Pack actually getting a really good straight here up the blue part, going up to first place, followed by Symbiose and Kappa, who is losing out on a little bit of pace. Kappa now a rough 0.2 behind the leader right now, who is Gamers Origin Pack. We're now coming closer to the ending here. Pack going for a very tight approach. Goes out wide at the exit. Symbiose might actually have some trouble right here. And Symbiose is out! Will he be able to turtle into the finish at least? No! Symbiose with the DNF right here. He clipped the finish. He was really going for an incredibly risky approach at the end. Didn't really get the tent as intended, because you have this little tent at the end, which you have to use as a ramp sort of to get a little bit of an extra height. And Symbiose was not able to nail that properly. So Symbiose with the first DNF, and is still sitting there with 3 points, as opposed to Pack and Kappa, who have already broken the 20-point barrier. We are going into the 3rd round here. No mistakes being made in the first 20 seconds of the track. It is Tween taking an early lead right here, going into this left-hander, where we have seen Tween having a little bit of trouble in the previous round. This time he makes it pretty well, and the 2 Sampis are leading right now. Pack with a very alternative line. A little bit too tight there. Doesn't really get the greatest speed out of this one. Oh, and there's the mistake by Kappa now. That was a bit too risky of an approach right there. He set himself up a little too far on the right and hit the wall with his back end. So Kappa with a mistake will most likely take 4th place here. His teammate Tween is faring pretty well here. He is more than a 10th ahead of Symbiose, and there's no way he's going to throw that away unless he does not make the finish jump, but he will do so. And Tween clocks in at 55.56, and with that gets very valuable 10 points for his account. Symbiose on 2nd, Pack on 3rd, and Kappa getting last. Round number 4. Here we go. Pack still in the lead here with 30 points. Kappa 5 points behind. Tween has actually creeped in a little bit closer after that important 10-pointer, and Pack fell into the hole almost. Not sure if he's going to make this. Yeah, he will. But that is a substantial time loss right there for the British player, so he's going to be out of this one. This will leave 3 players remaining right here on the track. We have Symbiose, Kappa, and Tween, 2 Sampies versus the Orcs GP player, the underdog, who not many people actually saw getting into the grand final, and now he did it. So this is a really successful weekend for Symbiose. However, this turn was really far from being anything close to successful. So we have the 2 Sampies now being alone fighting it out here for P1 here for the 10 pointers. Kappa in the lead here, followed by Tween. The gap is roughly a 10th of a second. It will come down to the ending here once again. You don't want to go too tight here. Kappa might have actually a little bit of trouble right here. Tween is going for the safe finish, and Kappa just made it barely with a 55.8. So Kappa maybe lost a little bit of time right there at the end. Tween went for the safe finish, which is definitely a clever decision. Symbiose taking 3rd, and Pack after the early blunder only taking 3 points home, which means that he will essentially also lose his lead in the total scoreboard. Kappa now up to 35 points, taking the lead here, 2 points ahead of his direct opponent, Pack. Last round on Invictus by MD point. Oh, Pack struggling once again here with the beginning. Almost made contact with the wall. He was able to stabilize there, but that was a hairy situation right there for him. So Pack is already 1700s down. Let's take a look at Tween, Kappa, and Symbiose, who are battling it out here once again for the 10 pointers. Incredibly close round so far. Absolutely impossible to call who's going to take this one. It is Symbiose now, trailing the 2 Sampies. Tween with an amazing turn right there, but Pack as well creeping in closer right there. Great exit speed for Pack, goes for the inside line, really attacking Kappa right here, and he is actually shooting himself up to 2nd place. So Pack with great effort right there, actually recovering from his early blunder that he did in this round. Tween, however, most likely not going to lose this one unless he dies at the end somehow. But it looks like the positions are going to be set in stone here. Tween taking 1st, followed by Kappa, Pack, and Symbiose. Great time here by Tween with a 55.437. Fastest match time on this track so far. Tween pushing it right here, and he's coming closer to Pack now. The difference between 2nd and 3rd is only 3 points. And things are gonna be heating up now on map number 2, which is gonna be Tranquilo by Wouter. The map where a lot can happen at the end. And I'm pretty sure also here in this grand final, players are on stage, and there's so much pressure now. People are playing for prize money. They're playing in front of a crowd. There's so much going on right now in the minds of the players. It is a very, very difficult circumstance to deal with for these players. Even though people like Pack, Kappa, and Tween, they are used to having that LAN experience already, while Symbiose is, let's say, as I said, he is the underdog, so he doesn't really have as much experience as the others have. But that might be a good thing as well for Symbiose, because he can just go into this without big expectations, which can also be a great lift for your mind, a great uplifting thought to have in the back of your head, knowing that you already made it that far. You maybe didn't even expect to get to the grand final, and now you're here facing a world champion, a runner-up, and Pack, who won Mania Planet World Cup 2016 and has been performing outstandingly in the past years in TrackMania² Stadium. So it is going to be difficult for Symbiose, and right now he is only sitting there with 16 points, but then again, he didn't have any sort of bonus points, so things can certainly go towards his way, maybe on this track. So a lot of things happening here in the warm-up already at the end. No one has really finished a proper run. So let's see how the live rounds are going to look like for the players. Round number 1. Once again, 5 rounds on this track. And that will the 50 points to be gained, in theory, for every single first place. Let's follow Tween here through the first set of turns right now. Everyone's super close to each other. Similar trajectories here in the first 20 seconds of the track. Kappa having a small lead right here. Symbiose, Pack, and Tween very, very close to each other. There's not even like a car length of gap between all of the 4 players. This is incredibly tight right now. Tween going for the furthest line to the inside, almost hit the checkpoint on the outside. That was really risky business right there for the Slovakian player. Kappa in the lead, followed by Symbiose and Pack. Pack now going for a very aggressive inside line. Kappa with the wall touch, and also Pack not having the greatest exit speed out of that corner. Tween will go up to second place, and now it is Symbiose and Pack also trying to make something happen right here. Let's take a look if he's going to be able to successfully make something happen here at the end. Symbiose still on P1. Tween with a lot of speed, jumping very high, and Pack has actually lost his position right there because he hit the arc of the checkpoint, or of the finish rather, and lost 1 position with that. So it will be Symbiose taking first with a 57.02, followed by Tween, Pack, and Kappa. That was a very, very clutch round at the end. Symbiose with very important 10 points. That is exactly what he needs in order to come back. This is the motivation boost that he urgently needs in order to make something happen. He has that point disadvantage, but he is coming closer now. He is coming closer now. Round number 2, here we go, with all 4 players being literally inside of each other once again. Symbiose having the small lead here at this point, everyone going for very similar drift trajectories here. Pack going out a little wide right here, not the greatest approach for him, but he is opting for some more exit speed and trying to go for an overtake here on the blue part. Not very successful for the British player so far. It is Symbiose, Kappa, and Tween. Oh, Tween now making contact with the checkpoint. It is Pack now trying to make something happen here as well, but he touches again, and it will be Kappa versus Symbiose now. The fight for the 10 points right here at the end of this round. Approaching the ending right now. Kappa going in very tight. That was a very risky line by Kappa, but it did pay off, and he's most likely going to stay in front of Symbiose, which indeed will be the case. 56.90 by Kappa and a 57.08 by Symbiose. Pack will finish on the bonus route, and Tween as well, so 2 players down by multiple seconds. Kappa and Symbiose the only ones that have survived this round so far. Kappa with 54 points, now 9 points ahead of Pack. Tween also just 2 points behind Pack, so this is incredibly, incredibly close still between the top 3 here in the total scoreboard, which you can see on the left side of the screen. Round number 3, here we go, with Pack having a little bit of an alternative line, but look at the speed that he's getting. Gamers Origin Pack really going for the exit speed right here, and it did pay off. He's creeping in closer to his opponents once again, and he's in the race again. He is in the mix. Symbiose, the French player, the only French player in the grand final, in fact, is right now on 4th place, but this is not decided yet. This is just incredibly close. How close are these players gonna go here? Coming towards the last couple of corners now. A little bit of a mistake here by Kappa, that was, who's dropping down to 4th place. Pack, Tween, and Symbiose very close to each other, even though Symbiose has lost a little bit of ground right here. So it will be between Tween and Pack. What's incredibly close to call, and there's Tween with the bug on the dirt. It will be Pack that takes it with a 56.875. Great time right here, the fastest time so far being driven in this match. It is Pack that takes the 10-pointer, very important. Kappa with 6, Tween with 4, and Symbiose with a DNF. That is a mistake that can easily happen if you risk it a bit too much right there at the end. If you go out too wide, you're not going to get a smooth transition onto that little dirt patch, and then you're just going to lose a lot of speed or just fly out of the track entirely. So there is a lot that can possibly go wrong at that end, and that was a perfect example of that. Round number 4. Symbiose once again finding himself in the back of the pack. Not the greatest start right here for our French hero, while the other 3 are battling it out here once again. This is just insane how close these players are to each other right here, approaching the last bit of the track right here. This time Pack gets this part incredibly well. Tween making contact with the wall, so he's going to be out of this one. Kappa is more than a 10th behind, so Pack could almost take this end a little bit safer. Let's see if he's going to make that happen. Kappa unable to come closer right here. The last quarter pipe. Oh! Kappa will lose 1 position to Symbiose, who is now taking advantage from Kappa's little clip that he had there in front of the last transition. Kappa losing out on 2 points, and this is good for Pack. because now Pack is gonna go back to first place right here with 1 point of a lead over Kappa. 65 to 64. The fight for the gold medal is incredibly, incredibly tight. Then we have Tween already 15 points behind the leader. Oh, Pack now struggling. He doesn't even get the slide here around the corner, so Pack is dead already. He's out of this one. A great opportunity for Kappa to get back into his lead, the lead that he has held in the previous rounds. Tween on P3 right now. Symbiose going out a bit wider, a little bit of a different trajectory, but all in all, they are still neck and neck here going into this sector now. Impossible to call. Absolutely impossible to call. Symbiose with an incredibly risky line, leaving Kappa behind him. And also Tween is now trying to attack his own teammate right here on the tracks. They are not teammates, they are opponents. Symbiose with a very alternative line, but he manages to stabilize right there and gets good speed for the last stretch. But he jumps too far left, and also Tween does not make it. Who's finishing? Is everyone dead? Nah, Pack finishes with a 59-17. Everyone else is dead. This is a graveyard. This is actually a graveyard. Pack is the only one that finishes. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Everyone died at the end. Unbelievable. This is the best case scenario that could ever occur for a player like Pack, who is now 11 points ahead of Kappa all of a sudden. That couldn't have gone any better for Pack. Pack is so lucky. I don't know if he realized that, but he is so lucky. This is unbelievable. This is actually unbelievable. We're gonna go on to the next track here, ladies and gentlemen. In the grand final of the Gamers Assembly 2019, we have Poc by Thompson, which is gonna be our next map right here. The point standing being as follows. We have Pack now in the lead with 75 points, Kappa with 64, Tween with 50, and Symbiose with 38. So the point gaps between the players are actually significantly big. But then again, things can easily change. The point limit is 120, so no one is even remotely close to making anything happen here or coming closer to the finalist. But Pack definitely on a steamroll. Here at this ending, we have seen a couple of blunders, and what a time by Pack here in the warm-up. 53-97 in the warm-up, definitely intimidating his opponents with that warm-up performance here already. Round number 1. Here we go. Let's follow Tween, who is in dire need of some points if he wants to come closer to Kappa and Pack. At this point of the match, the 10-pointers are going to be incredibly, incredibly valuable. So far, everyone has survived the start. We have seen plenty of mistakes being made by the players in the beginning, especially in the exit of that underground turn. People consistently went too wide and hit the wall on the right side, because that's where taking or carrying as much speed as possible is really, really important. These players, however, are routined enough to not make that happen. It is Tween right now in the lead, actually, followed by Pack, Kappa, and Symbiose. So no one has made a big blunder right here. This part, very, very... Oh my god, look at Symbiose. How well did he get that part? He's closing into all of the others. This is neck and neck between all 4 players coming towards the last corner. It is Tween that attacks this corner the best. Pack with a wall touch, and Kappa is also too far behind to make anything happen. It is Tween that makes it with a 54-081. Symbiose with a 17, Kappa with a 23, and then there's Pack, who died at the end. He will only take 3 points, but that was a great, great race right here. Wow. Great effort right there, especially by Symbiose, risking it, and that right-hander going onto the blue part. That was a pixel-perfect turn right there by Orcs3P Symbiose. And this is the mistake that I was mentioning earlier. Where did... Hello? Kappa? Alright, Kappa, yeah. Let's not talk about Kappa. Let's move on into the top 3 right here. I think Kappa is not going to finish this one. But we have Symbiose, Pack, and Tween still remaining here in this race. So Kappa gonna lose out on precious points, which will give Pack an amazing opportunity to grow the lead over his direct opponent, Kappa, right here. Tween with a mistake right here, so it will leave Symbiose and Pack alone on the track here to fight for the 10-pointer. However, Symbiose is really far away, so he's not going to make anything happen unless... Ooh, Tween with a really wonky line right there, but he's able to stabilize and still clocks in a 54.08. Another great round for Pack. He's going to gain another extra 10 points on Kappa with this, because Kappa gets the DNF. This is so good for Pack. This is so good for Pack. 20 points of a lead now for Gamers Origin Pack. This is such a good margin to work with already. And Tween touches the first wall. Not the greatest start for him. And also Tween is now closing in to Kappa, even though he's had a little bit of a slow start, but he's actually coming in a lot closer again. He's only 1500s behind, so Tween could potentially still get some of those big boy points here at the end of the round. Especially if one of his opponents makes some mistakes. Tween with a very inside line, not the greatest exit speed for the Slovakian player, still finding himself dead last right here. Let's switch to Orcs GP Symbiose. Pack and Kappa incredibly close to each other. Once again, this is an incredibly close round. Symbiose with a little wall touch right there, so it will be the two leaders of this match right now, fighting it out here for the ending. Kappa with more speed coming out of the turn, and it looks like he's going to take it right here, and he will do so with a sub 54. That is a great time and a great race up front between the two leaders of this match so far. Kappa and Pack getting the 10 and 6 points respectively. 94 points for Pack. Kappa now closing in just a tiny little bit, but the point gap is still moderately big at this point. Oh, and that is Kappa making a mistake now. Is he gonna take the dirt jump again? I think he was contemplating again. I think he wanted to do it again. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. He wanted to do it again. Next big mistake by Kappa. And once again, really good chance for Pack. He's getting those points gifted almost. This is such a good final for Pack right now, and Kappa seemingly not able to come any closer. Symbiose, however, ooh, Symbiose is trying. Symbiose is not giving up. Keep in mind the players have the cars forced on, so Symbiose sees Pack right in front of his bumper. Pack now still in a little bit of a lead right here. A car length of a gap right here between the two players, and only 500s separating them between 10 and 6 points. Pack taking another 10, and with that he will gain another 7 points on Kappa. Missed opportunity for Tween. He could have come a little bit closer to Kappa as well, but the gap is still 10 points between second and third. Pack has now broke the 100-point barrier. He is there at 104 points. He is completely demolishing everyone in this grand final. A lead of 23 points against world champion Kappa and runner-up Tween is mind-blowing. Let that sink in for a moment. Let that sink in for a moment. We're going into round number 5, the last one here on POC tent. Tween with a little bit of an alternative line, but he's still in the mix. Ooh, he goes out very wide, risking it over the hole, and Symbiose yeets himself out of the track right there, so he's gonna be out of this one. DNF for Symbiose. And now this Pack versus Kappa, very risky exit right there by Pack. It will be coming down to the last turn here once again. Pack with a more aggressive inside line, Kappa with a bit more exit speed right there, and he is gonna be the victorious driver in this round, winning by 36 milliseconds. Kappa with 10 points. Pack with 6, and Tween with another additional 4. Pack now at 110 points. One more first place would be sufficient to become finalist. We are going on to Exhale, the next track, and potentially, and most likely, the track where we will be crowning our winner of this competition. Unless Pack completely chokes out of this entire galaxy. This is such a good point. What? Symbiose. Okay, dude. This is such a good point margin to work with. I wouldn't say Pack is safe, but the chances for him to throw this away are so slim. So slim. We are in the warm-up here though, so Don't worry too much about this one. Kappa 91 points. Tween 75. Symbiose with 60. 50 points of a gap between first and fourth. That is huge. Compared to what we had at the end of TrackMania World Championship 2018, this is huge. So as I said before, one victory by Pack would be sufficient to become a finalist. Finalist status, for those that are maybe not familiar with the format, means that you need to take another first place to secure your position. So technically, Pack needs to get twice in a row onto P1. And he's done. Symbiose with a wonky start. Also Tween losing out on a lot of speed here in the beginning. So that is already a good opportunity for Pack to close it out right here. Only Kappa is in reach right here. This is gonna be a 1v1 right now. Symbiose 0.3 behind. He can potentially still make something happen, but he needs an absolute banger of a round now to make anything happen. Pack right now behind Kappa. Kappa with a risky inside line over the Randstein. Pack going out a little wider. Comes in a tiny tad little closer. But here he gets the inside line. And Pack all of a sudden now in first place. And Kappa makes a mistake as well. Not sure if he's even going to make this one. And this will be the easiest 10 points of Pack's life. Or actually it was the round where everyone died except him. Those were the easiest 10 points of his life. So Pack will be a finalist now. Not sure if I want to call the early GG at this point. But this is Pack's tournament to lose right now. Finalist mode with a humongous point lead over Kappa. All eyes on the British player, holding up the flag for Gamers Origin. Will he close this match out in a clean sweep? He has been annihilating everyone, and this finals round could be the nail in the coffin. This one could be the greatest end ever to one of his greatest grand finals that he's ever played. Right now, however, not the greatest start for Pack. He is losing out on some ground right here. And he makes a mistake. This is the pressure now for Pack. He saw his opponents in front of him. And he was probably pushing it a little too hard right there to come back. And he made that mistake. So Pack most likely not going to finish this one here in his first finalist attempt. Which will give all of the other players a little bit of a spark of hope to come a little bit closer to the British player right here. Symbiose with an inside line, but Kappa will have the upper hand right here by 0.06 of a second. Kappa is going to secure himself the 10 points. Symbiose on second, Tween on third, and Pack will go into his next finals attempt with Kappa now breaking the 100-point barrier. He's there with 101 points. He needs to win at least 2 more rounds. So Pack needs to be denied at least 2 more times. This is a tough nut to crack. Finalist attempt number 2 for Pack. After the mistake that he has done in the previous round, he needs to forget about that mistake. He needs to reset his mindset and just look forward and to attack, because right now he's in the back again. Oh, and there's the first mistake. 2 mistakes right in front of Pack's eyes. And now it is only Tween, the Slovakian powerhouse, the only one that can deny Pack right now. Pack has nothing to lose, and now he's gonna go for the really aggressive lines right here. Tween still in front, and he needs to get an absolute banger of an ending, because Pack is an absolute god at this ending. The last corner coming up now. Pack with the inside line, and if he jumps low enough, he's gonna take it. And Pack wins by 13 milliseconds. And Pack is gonna win the Gamers Assembly 2019 Tech Tournament. GG. What an amazing ending by the British player. He defeats Tween in a really great fashion in the last turn. Pack wins and completely annihilated his opponents. Insane performance. Round number 4. This match is not over yet. We have Kappa with 104 points, Tween with 89, and Symbiose with 76. So Kappa is in a really comfortable situation here as well. He is quite far ahead of his teammates. So this is his second place to lose at this point. Tween in the lead right here. He goes for a very inside line on the platform, but it did pay off. Tween still finding himself in front of Kappa, who is going to be very unhappy about this performance, because Team Sampi has been undefeated at every single offline TrackMania tournament that they have competed in. starting from the TrackMania World Championship until now. Sampi has officially been defeated right here by Gamers Origin Pack. Tween will take the 10 pointers here with a 53-40. That is a great time by Tween. And also Kappa with a 53, putting up a good fight, but not quite enough to take the 10 points. So Kappa now with 110 points needs a victory in order to become a finalist as well. Tween with 99 and Symbiose with 80. Symbiose getting a very, very awkward slowdown here very early on in the round, and that is already going to put him in a very, very big deficit towards his opponents. Sampi versus Sampi once again. Kappa in a small advantage right here. Tween trying to close in here. Goes for a slightly more aggressive line towards the apex of that right-hander. Very, very close still between the two players. This chicane very difficult, and Kappa completely full stops into that wall. Not the first time that has happened to him. He seemingly doesn't really feel that confident about his line. So this is going to be an easy 10-point snack here for Tween. Kappa certainly going to be upset, especially having made all of these mistakes that are just not what Kappa would usually do, especially in high pressure situations like a grand final, at a stage, in front of a crowd even. Kappa certainly not going to be satisfied about his performance here whatsoever. Tween now 5 points behind. Tween has made use, or has made very good use of Kappa's mistakes right here. So Tween is now only 5 points short. Even Tween could potentially make something happen, even though he will need at least one extra round in order to become a finalist. Kappa needs first or second in the next live round on Rebellion in order to become a finalist. Certainly doable. Certainly doable, but let's see what's going to happen here after the warm-up. Symbiose sitting there with 86 points. He hasn't really had a big gander here at the big points. He's had a couple of good rounds, but all in all, the consistency wasn't quite there. And the speed, as opposed to Pack and the Sampis in decisive rounds, just wasn't quite there. So Symbiose sitting there with 86 points, but I believe he will still be looking back to this weekend with a very, very big grin on his face, because he did win the esports student tournament early on at the Gamers Assembly venue, which is a different separate tournament that has been going on for quite a while in TrackMania² Stadium. Symbiose being the victorious player of that one. So not the worst weekend for him, even though he's most likely only gonna take the aluminum medal for position number 4 here. So here we go into the next round. Kappa, as I said, needs to get first or second, and he's going to be a finalist in the next round. Let's stick with Tween here. Kappa having a little bit of a wonky start right here, so the precision wasn't quite there in the first couple of corners. Kappa already a whole 10th behind Tween and Symbiose. Tween having to lift off there a little bit, leaving Symbiose alone in the lead. Symbiose may be about to deny the Sampis a couple of points. I mean, nothing is impossible. Symbiose mathematically can still win second place, but that will require, yeah, a couple of miracles here at this point. But right now, this round actually does look pretty good here for Symbiose. He's leaving both Sampi players behind him, and he continues to dominate here. Now the hairpin is going to be very, very important. Symbiose is going to go out too wide, and he will lose 2 positions within a blink of an eye. Kappa on P1 and Tween on P2. These positions are going to be looking like set in stone unless something happens at the ending here. Kappa will make the jump with a 56.28. He's going to secure himself 10 points, and with that will unlock finalist mode for the upcoming round. Tween with 6 points will go up to 115, so if Kappa doesn't finish this one off now, Tween will also become a finalist if he gets first or second. So here we go into this round. First finalist attempt for Kappa. Symbiose off to the greatest start. Tween going for a very aggressive inside line here as well. Kappa only on last place. But we have seen some crazy comebacks here in the second half of the track. Nothing is lost yet for Kappa. We're just going to keep following him. Symbiose with very risky lines together with Tween. They are actually getting away a little bit from Kappa here, which is going to be putting some pressure onto Kappa's shoulders. He definitely needs to risk it for the biscuit now in the second half of the track. Otherwise, he's not going to have a gander at taking home second place here in this round. Symbiose still in the lead. What a risky exit right there. Almost maxing out the space that he had available there. Kappa now with a great hairpin actually going for an attack here. Very inside line here on the blue part. Kappa's trying to make something happen here. Symbiose the only one that can deny Kappa the second place right now. Symbiose with a great ending and he will make it happen. Symbiose with a 56 flat will deny Kappa his finalist attempt. And Tween will be sitting there with the slap in the face. 119 points. This is good for Kappa because he is going to have another finalist attempt without fearing too much. Symbiose, the man, the myth, the legend, denying a round. Will he do it again? Let's find out in round number 3. Tween only needs to finish and he needs to hope that Kappa will not finish this one off. Otherwise, Tween will have to settle with the bronze medal. Or if Symbiose pulls off amazing rounds, maybe it's going to be a battle for the bronze medal here as well. Going into the round here, though, 30 seconds have elapsed in this round, and it is absolutely impossible to call who's going to take this one here. Risky approach by Symbiose, but he remains stable on the track. Kappa and Tween slightly getting away here. Only 200ths of a second between first and third place here. This is incredibly close right now. Going through the important hairpin now. Tween with a mistake, and Kappa has the chance of his life right here to take second place. Not sure if he's aware of his position right now, but Kappa is a whole 10th ahead. Symbiose attacking on the inside, not quite enough yet, and Kappa seals the deal and finishes off second place in the Gamers Assembly 2019 with a 56-14. GG. Kappa at least securing second place. I am pretty sure he wanted more, but this was the best that he could have gotten here after Pack has completely stomped everyone into the ground. Tween will now be a finalist as well. We have 2 more rounds remaining here on Rebellion, and Symbiose needs to deny Tween multiple times now, at least 2 times in order to become a finalist himself, and then in the best case another time. So Symbiose needs to take 3 first places in a row, which is going to be very, very difficult. Easier said than done, but Symbiose is on his way to make it a 1 out of 3 right now with this very, very promising looking start right here. Already 1400s ahead of Tween right here in this round. Great performance on Symbiose here so far. He's extending his lead further and further. But the hairpin is a place where he has made some mistakes as well, but similar to Tween. This time, however, both not making a mistake. Symbiose with a little bit of a lack of exit speed right there. Tween trying to make something happen, but it's not quite enough to go for an overtake yet. 1700s at the previously passed checkpoint. Tween touching the wall, and Symbiose will deny it. Symbiose with the 10-pointer. 1 out of 3 for OrcsGP Symbiose. Tween gets denied for the first time. Will Symbiose pull off the greatest comeback of his entire career? Here we go into the next round. Another chance and another opportunity for Symbiose to go for amazing gameplay. This is the last one on Rebellion. Seems to be a good map for Symbiose. If he takes this one here, we are going to have the map switch, and that is going to turn the whole tables around here. So let's take a look here. Right now, neck and neck, and now Symbiose with the mistake on the inside. Way too aggressive right there and makes another follow-up mistake. This is GG right here, unless Tween magically flies out of the track or bugs to the moon or whatever. But I think this one is gonna be Tween's 3rd place in the Gamers Assembly 2019. I am pretty sure he's well aware of his position right now. He can take it easy right here. Avoid the nose slide here, please, for the love of God. Thank you very much. Tween about to take 3rd. Last jump remaining, and the 3rd place is his. Tween with the bronze medal at Gamers Assembly 2019. GG. Symbiose has fought like a soldier, and he almost made the impossible happen. Great effort from Symbiose nonetheless. Amazing performance, even getting to the grand final in first place after defeating really big names in this tournament. However, Pack will be the undefeated champion here. Pack wins Gamers Assembly 2019. The crown will go to the United Kingdom. Very well deserved victory here for Pack. Absolutely astonishing performance right here. leaving both Sampi players in his dust. Amazing final. GG to all of the participants of Gamers Assembly 2019, especially to the finalists. That was an absolute blast. Alright, so that is going to be the end of this entire evening here. This is going to be the end of Gamers Assembly 2019. The tournaments have over. We have crowned our winners. Pack wins Tech, Papu wins Dirt, Kid wins Full Speed, and Nath wins Canyon. These are going to be the 4 winners here. And with that, I am also going to say goodbye. My voice is dead. And I'm gonna take a big break now after this long day or long weekend of casting.